Yeah, I put it up for them.
Just second half, Coach. I mean, what happened here?
Well, again, I think you got to give the credit to Alabama. They, really go back to the start of the game. I thought we came out really focused defensively and built the lead, and we had some major breakdowns from a scout. I mean, guys that we know you can't give a look. They got some good looks, and even if we had a chance to build the lead back up, and at the end of the half we didn't handle that right either. We had Admiral was definitely struggling, and he was pressing too hard and turning the ball over in ways where he's got to just get it up on the rim. And we came out the second half, and Alabama's really well coached, and we knew they were going to. Again, Petty, we know he got a chance to get it going. He got a couple guys that can get it going. He got it going. He really did. And they started isolating us, picking on whatever mismatch they thought they had, whether it was back down the post or really trying to work to get guys involved. We went zone one time to try to disrupt the rhythm, and we gave up a baseline drive, and then we're in a total scramble mode. They hit another three, but when they came out the second half and started coming back, I told the coaches, I said, I'm not going to call timeout. I said, we need this. We need this to see how we respond. And then I had to call a timeout because we didn't respond the way we needed to. And I kept thinking, and you got to give Alabama credit. It came down. We were way too impatient on the offensive end. One pass, get inside, tough shots. And again, they're a long athletic team. When we didn't move the ball the way we really should move it. And trying to force some things. And we had a turnover during that stretch, just careless. And momentum's changed. And as much as I hate to say it, I mean, we were fortunate to win this game, but we needed a game like this. And we're going to see what we can learn from it. Because it wasn't one of our better shooting halves, but 2 games in a row now, we've got beaten in the second half. Where we have come out and I don't think executed. And it goes back defensively. I don't think we're as good a defensive team as we were a year ago at this time. And in case in point, we're definitely a much improved offensive team. Jordan Bowden had a great defensive stand, and instead of going to rebound the ball, he started running the other way, and John Petty goes and rebounds. That's a team that's not totally locked in, and that's just one example. I could come up with one in every player. I thought Kyle's rebounds came up with some big rebounds for us when we needed it. Grant's block in the corner was a big one. And then it got down to where on one end they called us for a charge and called them for a travel. And I'm sure, I thought it was a cylinder. I'm sure Avery probably thought we tripped or fouled. I mean, but that's how fine a line it is. And but you got to give Alabama credit. They're an experienced team. And I told the guys at halftime, they're not going to go away. And and they didn't. But we found a way at the end to get a win.
Corey and Jimmy?
Coach, you mentioned Grant's block there at the end. It seemed like John Petty really had an open look on that. Were you surprised at all by that? Do you think that was the defining play that he
No, I mean, we've seen Grant do it. We just need to see it more. I mean, we gave him too much space too many times, and it's difficult to guard when you got a guy that that can raise up and doesn't need much space, and then you try to run him off the line. And your first question is, why is he that open? And that's the first question you ask. But he made a great effort there to get there and contest that. And the reason he's open like that, they run good offense. They get going downhill, and they get you over helping, rotating, and it all goes back to guarding the basketball, one-on-one defense. And you got to give Avery Johnson a lot of credit too, in the fact that he knew who he wanted to go after, and he did a good job going after it.
Petty had about 30 points with 9 minutes and 50-something seconds left. Talk a little bit about the defenses that you used to try to slow him down like that.
Well, we went to what we call a no catch, and where that person really has no help responsibility, just trying to make him work to get open any way he can. And again, Avery did some good stuff, trying to run him off one screen, bring him back off 2 screens, doing some wrap action with him. And Jordan Bowden did a good job. Eve does a good job initially, but when those kind of actions to multiple actions, that's where he gets lost a little bit. But he, again, Bowden was a guy that we put on him for the most part. But we got away at the start of the game when we're really into our system, where we're in the backcourt, just making people work. As the game goes on, you think back on it. We didn't. We just let them bring it up on their terms, let them get set. And we're a much better team when we're putting more pressure in the backcourt.
Steve, Mike, and John.
I imagine the #1 team Monday is either going to be you or the Duke Virginia winner. Are you interested in seeing how your team kind of responds to a #1 rank? Does it make any difference to the year? What's your reaction to
I don't think anything about it. I mean, I think that we're going to be in a lot of games like this, whether we're ranked 1, 21, or 41. I just think this league's like that everybody's fighting, and right now you're getting into the middle of the conference season, and you know, these guys have worked hard. Is it something new to them? Yeah, it's something new, but we go back, and the guys that are playing right now, they've built this thing, okay? They built it, and to be where we want to be, you have to learn to deal with that. And is it nice to be ranked? Of course, because you know the attention that comes to your program, it filters down to every aspect of your program. You have to deal with it, handle it, yes. And how you do that is by staying focused on what's at hand, and that's playing basketball. You can't let the outside noise coming from whoever, family, whatever. You got to. That's where you find out just how close you are as a team, and you don't come unraveled. You just stay focused on the task at hand, and that's trying to win another basketball game.
So John, then Mike.
Rick, do you feel even more fortunate about the victory when you look at the stat sheet and see that Alabama missed 10 of 18 free throws?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you look at that. I mean, yeah, we're again. I mean, I could tell you a lot of different ways they outplayed us definitely second half. They did, and then you look at the fact they got to the free throw line. You know, we were 3 for 12, but I can also say, you know, we missed some shots that we normally make. You know, that happens. That's part of the game, just like missing free throws. But it's not a game of perfect. It's never going to be. And again, I thought both teams played really, really hard, and we were again fortunate to get it done.
How much do you take away from finding a way to win? And do you think this team in the past, maybe last year, would have found a way to win that kind of?
Well, a year ago, we found ways to win, and we did it defensively, and that's what we did in the last couple minutes tonight. There's no doubt that. But we were offensively, you know, whether Grant charge, whatever it may be, we were getting too impatient, just trying to, where he's got, you know, they were contesting shots. That ball, he had 2 guys around him. That ball should have been moving and popping, and it wasn't. And then even with that, when we got a couple wide open looks, they were content at the end. You can have all you want out there, but we're not going to give you anything inside. And they were just swarming in there. And all year long, we've been able to kick out and make the shot, make the extra pass. And we had a couple that went in and out. And Bowden's rebound, he went in and got, that was a huge one that he went and got. And those are the kind of plays that we got to get back to making, that we haven't consistently made this year. And then at the end of the game, I do think that we had a much better focus the last couple of minutes of the game defensively, which either you do or you don't. If you don't, you're not going to win the game at all. You don't even put yourself in a position.
Finish up with Patrick, Brent, and Rob.
Rick, back. What does it say about Admiral? The shots weren't really falling for him tonight, but he still fought his way to a double-double and had to go ahead bucket there at the end.
Well, that's what good players do. They find a way to impact the game. I mean, if you're going to go into a game thinking that it's going to be all score, and if you let that affect you, which he does some, he did, but he was mature enough at the end to figure out how to go back and affect the game in a different way. And missing shots is part of this game, and it happens to the best of the best. But the fact that he went back and got 11 rebounds and did what he did, and he made a couple big baskets there at the end of the game, and he made a great drive. The ball went in and out, but you know, we got what we wanted. It didn't go down.
Rick, you said for several weeks now that you're not defensively what you want to be. You're 17 games in the season. Can you get to where you want to be defensively, and how do you get there?
Not unless their mentality changes. It's not like we haven't spent as equally amount of time with, and maybe in the last 2 weeks, probably more. If you really want to, you know the truth, we probably put more time defensively than we have anything. And that's one thing we talked to the team about last night. We should be at a point now where we shouldn't have to be talking about details on the offensive end, you know, getting to the corners, you know, doing your job. We should be able to now be working on more detailed, intricate things in the game. And but defensively, it's a mentality, and it goes back, and this will show them what I think we've been trying to tell them again, how we're not thinking. It's just a mindset, and we haven't had it really for a couple games the way we need to have it, and we've got to get it, or it's going to catch up with us, and it did today. And the fact that, but again, I think you got to give Avery again a lot of credit for doing what he wanted to do, isolating who he wanted to isolate, and spreading us out, getting us out, and transition. I think about never happened all year long. We scored 2 baskets, and they should come back and score 2 baskets in transition. That hasn't happened to us all year. That's where guys don't have that defensive mentality. You don't, and we're just jogging back like, okay, we scored. We're not as hungry on that end as we have to be. And can we work on it harder? I'm not sure how we can work on it harder. I still think it's a mindset that these guys have to realize, and they've got to buy back into it.
You might just answer this with the mentality, but what lessons do you want your guys to take out of this game today?
Again, going into games knowing we're going to defend. We're going to really defend. And we'll do that consistently. And we've done it, but we just haven't done it over a longer periods of time. And we got to rebound the ball. It goes back. We want to run. And I've always said you can't run unless you finish possessions. And you go back to the last couple games, the big thing that jumps out at me again are offensive rebounds. You know, Arkansas did it. And you go back to the Arkansas game, what did they do at the end of the game? They were putting their head down, driving, playing one-on-one with it, just putting their head down, going with it, getting to the offensive boards. Tonight, one-on-one isolation type plays. And when you do that, there's a lot of different ways you can try to defend it. But then, regardless of what happens, you got to finish it, and especially when they miss shots.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.